Hey everybody, Alex Kozora, SteelersDepot.com, back with some Pittsburgh Steelers tape breakdown and analysis. Today I want to talk about Kevin Dotson and just how important this offensive line is. So many guys under the microscope, especially in offense, entering 2022, but I think Kevin Dotson's a name we must talk about more. This offensive line for Pittsburgh was the X factor last year. They did not play well enough, that much is obvious, and it cost the team dearly, and they'll be the X factor again in 2022 and must play significantly better than a year ago. Kevin Dotson's a guy that has a lot of potential, has yet to unlock it all, but here are just a couple of clips that show and illustrate what he could be and really what he needs to be for himself and for the Steelers in 2022. And just a quick side note, I may sound differently, hopefully for the better. I have a new microphone, had some issues trying to set things up, so I apologize in advance if there are any sort of audio issues. I'll get it fixed for the future, but for now, let's get to the rest of the video. Starting here in week 2 against the Raiders, and again, these are just snapshots. These are me just going through a couple of games last year and just picking out some plays that really show some of the potential that Kevin Dotson has. And so obviously he's got to play better and be healthy and all that. But first clip here against Las Vegas, just watch the stunt pickup here. And you can kind of tell pre-snap there's probably going to be a game or a slant or a twist, something being run here when you see these really widely aligned defensive tackles. There is no one tech, there really isn't even a 3 tech here, and so that kind of is a pre-snap clue. They're not all going to rush straight into their gaps and kind of bunch each other up here, so probably some pre-snap recognition there as well. But Dotson overall, good execution on this and just kind of playing this thing through, watching him pass it off the crasher off to center Kendrick Green. And the really important key here is you can't pick up this looper until the center or the adjacent lineman has picked up that crasher, and typically there's a verbal cue that's given out from the center to the guard or whoever to let them know that basically you can pick up the looper. So great job by Dotson to carry the crasher all the way down the green, make sure that's secure, or else this lineman will be able to penetrate and get through, and then Dotson picks up the looper as well. That's a nice job there with a punch to get extension and make sure he can't get any sort of pressure on Ben here, talking about the looper number 90. So a really nice rep here overall. You didn't see that enough last year, this team working as a unit. It's not all about offensive linemen working independently. They're going to have to work together so much, more so than probably any other position in football, any other group in football. So a nice job here, probably some pre-snap indication about a game potentially coming, likely coming, and then the actual execution to pass things off, pick up the looper, and keep the pocket clean. Now looking at week 3 against the Bengals, checking out some of Dotson's run blocking. That was really his calling card coming out of Louisiana Lafayette, was his ability to create movement in the run game. But you see a really good athlete in space as well. You see him get to the second level, get to this linebacker, and effectively seal off Jermaine Pratt here on this play. So a nice job here by Dotson. Really good burst here off the line of scrimmage. Obviously the down block here, the little crackback block attempt by James Washington is going to help Dotson secure this linebacker a little bit easier, but still Dotson has the athleticism to get out in space and totally take that linebacker to the sideline and create that cutback lane for Najee Harris. Not everything else worked perfectly on this play, was called back for holding on Kendrick Green, but just watching Dotson in a vacuum here, doing his job, sealing his man, creating that alley, at least potential alley, for Najee Harris. This is a good rep for Kevin Dotson. Now let's look at Dotson in pass protection one-on-one going against the 3 tech on this play, and that is not Larry Ogunjobi for anyone wondering, but still a Bengals defensive tackle. And you see the size, the anchor, and the ability to stall out this bull rush here by this defender. And so Dotson has that size, he has the frame. I know Kendrick Green's going to get work at guard, and we'll see how that looks, but generally and typically in Pittsburgh, I don't think small guards work too well. Those guys work much better at center in Pittsburgh than they do at guard, and so this is really one reason why. Nice job here by Dotson, the short set, and be aggressive here, not give up ground. New offensive line coach Pat Meyer is going to preach that a lot, and making first significant contact is going to be the phrase that Pat Meyer uses, but you see him work his hands here, hands inside, good punch, good base overall, hips bent, knees bent. He's in control of this block the whole way, and that's really critical here. Does not allow this defensive tackle to create any space so he can be able to shed and get past him here. This is a really quality rep by Kevin Dotson in terms of working his hands, his feet, his overall set, and he has to show that and display that much more often and much more consistently in 2022. Last clip we'll look at today, and this is one of my favorite reps from Kevin Dotson the entire season. This will be a split zone or split flow run here. You're going to see the tight end Pat Frymuth come across as the line zone blocks to the right on this play, and the back's got to pick the hole. But Kevin Dotson's really the man that kind of clears the hole on this play. So we'll kind of watch this through at the first level. You see the displacement he's able to create there on that kind of double team block with Kendrick Green. That's on Kenny Clark, who's one of the best nose tackles in football, and really did a number on Kendrick Green and Pittsburgh overall in this game. But a good rep here to get this double team, to secure this block here, to create that downward movement and flow here to help out Kendrick Green. And then secondarily, and I'm not even sure if this was his role or if he just kind of picked up on it last second, but to see the linebacker still free here, coming down trying to follow where the back's going to go, and then you see Dotson pick off that linebacker as well. And it's not a, put him into the ground and this pancake block. It doesn't have to be. It just get the job done. So the first mission is at the first level to create that movement, to create that double team here, to create the initial gap for Najee Harris. And then Dotson, the recognition overall and the execution to be able to turn his hips there and wall off the linebacker. And frankly, Harris just follows what Kevin Dotson does on this play in terms of creating that path. And so you'll see Dotson create that movement here and then turn out the linebacker as well. And where does Najee Harris go? Right in between the space that Dotson just created and the space he's creating right now. So a really good rep overall and a pretty positive run overall for the Pittsburgh Steelers. We'll look at it one more time from the aerial view. Here's Kevin Dotson, the left guard, and just watch the movement he creates there initially, and then just gets a piece of that linebacker, all you have to do, and it's a good sizable run lane for Najee Harris, who did not have many of those last year. And so Dotson needs to be more consistent with his technique, his hands, obviously health, a big factor, playing or missing the back half of last year with that high ankle sprain, having some weird stuff happening with him in training camp. But you do see the flashes, you do see the potential, and if he can realize that, it'll be good for him personally, contractually in the future, and of course very good for Pittsburgh going forward. So a lot of eyes on Kevin Dotson in a big year number 3. So that will wrap up today's video. Again, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Again, apologize if there are any sort of issues or wonkiness with the audio. It, in theory, should sound better, but we'll work on it throughout the offseason and get things ready to go for week 1. So again, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Please like and subscribe if you have not done so already, and we'll talk to you soon.